Hello and welcome, everyone. Go ahead and let us know in the chat that you can hear us, but we are excited to jump in with you. This is our Season 23 DSFL Draft. We are drafting the regression class for Season 24 into the DSFL, our developmental league for the season. I am Bex. I am the commissioner of the National Simulation Football League. They let me be in charge for some reason. And I am joined by a wonderful cast of characters that are going to kind of go through this draft with me, and I will let them introduce themselves now.
Am I first?
Yes, you are.
Oh, hi. I'm I Stegosaurus. I'm the co-GM of the Dallas Bird Dogs. And my player is Colt Mendoza for the Austin Copperheads.
Hello, my name is Matty. I am Matthew McDermott for the San Jose Sabercats, and I'm also the co-GM for the Kansas City Coyotes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sil Frenny. I am one of the GMs of the London Royals, and I'm the user behind Greedy Sly of the Colorado Yeti.
Hi, I'm JPack. I clicky the button here on the streams, and I am the user behind literally just a hexagon, who is a safety for the New Orleans second line.
Very good. These are my friends for the evening. I'm excited to have them. I always forget that we do team stuff. I am Marcella Tariki of the New Orleans second line. If you didn't pick me in fantasy, you've made a mistake. So yes. Yeah, we're excited here to welcome in a new crop of rookies into our league. For those of you who are first-time creates, this is your first draft experience with us, so we hope that you have fun. One thing I like to say, just to keep in mind, that the DSFL draft can be kind of wonky just because teams are looking for different things, different needs, different locker room fits. So your draft position is a really cool thing to celebrate, but it's also not the end all be all. So if you go later than you think you should, that's okay. This is an opportunity for you to prove people wrong, to show people that they shouldn't have passed on you. And you can also play a game with yourself and see how much you can improve. So if you get picked 45th this draft, you can see if you can go higher in the NSFL draft at the end of the season. So you have plenty of opportunities over the course of the season to make an impression on the NSFL GMs as well as your DSFL GMs who are selecting you tonight. So I won't blather on too much. I get emotional about the DSFL. It's a very important feature of the league, and so we're so happy to be bringing in a new batch. This is a pretty good-sized class for an off-season that's not fixed on one of the big old Reddit recruitments. So we're quite pleased with the group we've got. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first overall pick for the Kansas City Coyotes. They will select Asher Montaigne, Uter Adipax.
Yeah, so I mean, this was an obvious pick for us. But we had so many people that we could have picked here. The class is fantastic, but I mean, as soon as we talked to Apex, we just knew that this was our pick. Like there were certain people that it could have been a linebacker because we have no linebackers at the moment. But in the end, we just went for our normal thing of picking the best defensive lineman in the class. And well, we'll see how it goes. Welcome to the Coyotes.
Excellent. All right. That'll bring us to pick number 2 for the Portland Pythons. They will
Uh,
select.
Can I interject real quick?
No. What's up?
All of chat is saying no audio.
What?
Oh no.
So we may have just announced a pick with no audio.
What?
Oh, no.
I'm not seeing no audio.
I'm not seeing that.
Maybe my chat is behind. My chat's behind. Never mind.
Audio is fine. Audio is fine.
That's on me.
Freaking out over nothing.
Fire
Can I
me.
just say we had Adopax in the London locker room for the last couple weeks of the season. He's a fantastic user. I fully expected him to go first overall, and I'm really excited to see what he does in the league. He's got a ton of potential, so great pick.
I agree.
Watching the chat freak out about your being incorrect is beautiful. Anyway.
I'm not gonna call out who just pranked me, but you know who you are.
If you can't hear us, the better. Other than putting it in chat, you can always reach out to me. I always have Discord pulled up, so if you need to emergency contact me, I'm available. Anyway, no more delays. Pick number 2 for the Portland Pythons will be Dorothy Zorbnak. Polish name.
Zbornak.
Sure. User Slothman 07. I I love this graphic. I believe Slothman made this himself. He's also the one who's been working on the new Portland logo, so quite fitting for them to pick him up.
Yeah, so I actually reached out to Portland and got notes for them and a couple other teams. So Portland on this pick said if you don't take one look at Slothman's render and various graphics and realize why we had him at the top of our board, you need to leave the league. Seriously though, as a true rookie coming in and contributing so much to the team with his work on the branding and things like that, he's just a great guy. They said they had to take him here, and they're super happy to looking forward to seeing him chucking QBs around in the season to come. They're really excited to have him. They love this guy.
Very good. All right. Pick number 3 for the Myrtle Beach Buccaneers will be Jeremiah Zelos, Hall Monitor. Soup would like me to say that Hall sucks, but I can say firsthand that Hall is an amazing user. He is originally class of season 18, which is my class, so I'm quite familiar with him. He's amazing. He's the founder of Myrtle Beach. He was the one in charge of the rebrand when they moved away from being the Palm Beach Solar Bears. So I'm sure it feels good for him to be coming home tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, we'll move us on to our next one here. Steg, want to do the honors?
Oh yeah. 4th overall, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Zoe Watts. We took Kaya. We added Kaya after the trade deadline last season as a waiver ad. She's awesome. Lovely person in the locker room. We thought she'd go 1 or 2 overall, highest ranked person on our board. So this is a no-brainer for us, and we're glad to bring her back to Dallas full time.
She seems
you took her
stellar
punter.
in the interactions that I've had with her. She's amazing.
All hail the kicker punters. That's all I'm saying. No bias.
Absolutely lovely. She's been in the London locker room too, and definitely one of our top 2 overall prospects. So really happy for her to go here.
Very good. All right, that'll bring us on to pick number 5 for the Norfolk Seawolves. They will select Quentin Button. We picked up Paul on waivers, and we have loved having him so much. We knew we wanted to try and bring him back. He's been phenomenal in our locker room. He's been fun to talk to. We were kind of sitting there during the draft, waiting anxiously to see if he'd still be there at 5 for us to grab. And he was, and we are so excited that we get to continue having him around.
Yeah, I love this guy. When I talked to him pre-draft, all of his answers were great.
Very good. All right, move us on to pick 6. This will be for the Minnesota Grey Ducks. They will select Alejandro Chainbreaker, your user Sermo Kala. Sermo is another former season 18er. Love him. He previously been in the Minnesota War Room, so another first round homecoming with this pick here. Very good. All right, 7.
Yeah, that's us. So with the 7th pick in the draft, the London Royals will select Juan Domin, linebacker, user Maglubiet. I love this guy. He was my 3rd ranked prospect on the board. He's absolutely fantastic. I think he fell a little bit maybe because he's quieter than some of the other people that have gone before him. But he's doing a lot of work with stats and different like creating a whole platform to view league information on from previous seasons. So he published some of that. I encourage everybody to look at it. We're super excited to have him in London. Just a great guy and really excited.
Just a thing. We had him in our locker room as well. Yeah, for the last part of that last season, and he is just a great guy. He's a great guy to be around our locker room, and I'm glad he got picked so high. So congrats to you, Damien.
Absolutely. And addressed a position of need for us. I think he's going to end up on our defensive line and just be an absolute monster.
Very good. All right, this one moves to pick 8.
Awesome. At pick 8, the newly crowned 7-time DSFL champions, Tijuana Luchadors select Maverick Bowie, user Tanzi.
I know that he was high on our list as well. We were like, if Paul hadn't been available, he was like, I think next on our list.
Very high on ours as well. J Doctor actually had given me a note on him. They had him very high as a top 3 prospect, and he's mentions he's a part of the midships line, which has proven to be nothing but great quality people, and it's going to be a really nice fit for them in the secondary. So I know Tijuana is super excited to replace JPAC now that he's moving on.
Woo!
Alrighty, this will bring us to 9.
That's me again. Yes, with the 9th pick in the DSFL draft, the London Royals will select Woodrow Brooks, defensive end, user Garnick. This guy's fantastic. I hope he's been in your locker room. If he hasn't, he's been great with us. Love his personality. Again, defensive line was a huge position of need for us going into this draft, and we really wanted to address it. So back-to-back picks here, it just made all the sense, and absolutely love this guy.
Very good. Alrighty. At 10 for the Pythons, they will select Joel Drake, user Rosefan. Another person that I've seen a bit in Gen Chat, and I've really enjoyed his personality. Secondary was a bit scarce this draft, so it makes sense to see more coming off the board here pretty early.
Yeah, Russ Van. So Portland mentioned that he's a fantastic locker room fit for them. And they actually considered taking him 2nd overall. So the fact that he fell to them, they felt was a great value. And this honestly was probably Portland's fastest pick in the draft. They had this in like 0 time flat. So I know they're super excited to welcome him in.
Very good. All right, that'll move us on to 11 here. For the Myrtle Beach Buccaneers, they will select Arlington Heights, user Miss Obvious. Miss Obvious is a dear friend of mine from the PBE. He's also one of our head office interns this season. I love him. He's great. I know that he really, really wanted to go back to Myrtle Beach. He was there with his past player. So I am very, very content that he gets to get his wish here and go home.
Yeah, this was somebody who, when we talked to them in the pre-scouting, was pretty dead set on going back to Myrtle Beach, and obviously they get their person. So just a great fit, and I believe an HO intern.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Alrighty, pick 12.
Hey, that's me again. So at 12th overall, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Nerdy Name, user
Yeah.
Skyfish.
I love
Um,
Skyfish.
We are building a kicker army in Dallas. If you're a kicker in this draft or on waivers, you're ours. Skyfish was another guy we had at the top of our board as one of the tier 1 prospects in the class. Kyle knows him from PBE because he does nothing but make fun of Kyle over there. As someone who makes fun of Kyle as a regular job, I can respect that. And so this was an easy pick for us. We're excited to probably not have him kick field goals for us.
Yes, Skyfish is amazing. I'm very jealous that you got to grab him here.
We didn't think he'd fall out of the first round. We were shocked, but he did.
Indeed. All right, pick 13 for the Norfolk Seawolves. They will select Sigmundsson Sternenstaub, user Mongoose 87. Mongoose is a recreate. Last player was inducted into the NOLA Hall of Fame. He's head office over in the Super Casual Football Sim League. Had a really great article, and he where he had the 10 out of 10 suggestion of getting rid of the forward pass in the NSFL. Already over 100 TPE and at a position of need like defensive tackle, it's insane for him to be available here for Norfolk to scoop him up. But we are very pleased that he did. So next generation of boat boys. Not boat boys, goat boats. Boat boys is Myrtle Beach. Too many boats. That'll bring us to pick 14 for the Minnesota Grey Ducks. They will select a trade. London is going to receive pick 14 and pick 36 in this draft, and Minnesota will be receiving Woodrow Brooks. Still want to talk about that trade?
Yeah, absolutely. So for as much as we loved Garnock and Woodrow Brooks, Minnesota loved him even more. As soon as we made that pick, I had like a DM waiting for me saying we need to fix this. So we were very lucky with London. By the time this pick rolled around, we had one other guy on our board we had considered at 9, and that's who we selected. So for us to be able to add an extra pick just made all the sense in the world. In Minnesota, they love this guy, great locker room presence, like I mentioned. So kind of a win-win for both teams.
Very good. Alrighty, so your pick now. What you doing?
Yeah. So with the 14th pick in the DSFL draft, London Royals select Bush Light, linebacker, user Crow19. As I said, I was super high on this guy. I wanted to take him 9, and we ended up going with Garnock instead. So to be able to get him at 14 plus an extra pick was incredible. London's a little bit of a linebacker factory. We've won linebacker of the year every year we've been in the league, and we plan on repeating that this season with Crow. So super excited to add him to the team.
This is my future brother-in-law, so I guess this makes me a London Royals fan on the side now.
Let's
I'm not sure how I feel
go.
about.
Perfect. Very good. All right. This will move us to pick 15.
Yes,
Maddie?
and with the 15th overall pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select the biggest reach in the draft, Joshua Campbell, aka Butterscotch 101. I can see him in the chat right now. Something tells me 15 is going to be a reach. You were correct. Horrible pick. Wish we didn't have to make it, but we'll use him, I
Mhm.
guess.
For those of you who are first time tuning in for us, GMs of teams have to take themselves with their highest second round pick. So, as the GM of this team, Butters has to go at this pick. So, that's what's happening here. But yeah, congratulations on this very expected pick in this draft. So, that'll move us on to 16.
Well, that's me. In the 16th pick in the DSFL draft, the Tijuana Luchadors select Adam Shell, user CincyFan96.
I am slightly biased in that this person DM'd me recently and we had a really pleasant exchange, and that makes me feel really happy and sad now because I have to dislike you slightly because you're Tijuana. Because Tijuana is my natural enemy, even though all of my dearest friends are Tijuana people. But yeah, seems like a super solid dude. What did you guys have thoughts on Cincy?
Yeah, we were pretty high on him in London. I know he's a real life friend of Myth, the new GM at Tijuana. So obviously a good fit, good locker room fit. They were really excited to get him. Somebody we had considered in the earlier pick.
Very good. All right, this will bring us to 17.
With the 17th overall pick, the Kansas City Coyotes again select Brack Thomaslacker, RDB Southpaw. So we already had him in our team at the end of last season, and as I said, we already need linebackers, so we thought this was an easy selection for us. He's a great guy. He hasn't really been updating as much as some other players in this draft, but he'll get there. We have faith in him. We've seen how hard he can work, so we're ready to take the chance on him here.
Very good. Alrighty. At 18, the Portland Pythons. Why can't I say that today? They will select Miles Smith, the man who sold the world.
Yeah, so this is the first running back off the board. Goes to Portland. They were really excited about this pick from their point of view. They got the best user on the board as well as a guy who's just been killing it with earning. So they're really excited to see him become a big contributor. I know it's somebody we were looking for in London as well. So really good user here.
I'm slightly surprised that, well, I mean, running back, sure, you need whatever, but for Portland to take this running back over a former Portland alum feels kind of weird. Because Taeyeon is still available, and Taeyeon is a huge name in Portland.
Yeah, but it's Taeyeon. You gotta draw the line
There's
somewhere here, right?
there's also logic. As much as Taeyeon is a legend in Portland, that our job is to develop new players. And if Portland feels like this is somebody they have a good relationship with and that they'll be the best place for him to develop, that you take him here because you're banking that you're the best place to keep him active and to keep him earning and to teach him the ropes of the league, and that Taeyeon's going to be fine wherever he goes.
It is
Yeah,
fair.
it's a great point.
Alrighty, we'll move on to pick 19 here. For the Myrtle Beach Buccaneers, they will select Grummy Bear, user Grum. I love that there's a gummy bear on my screen. That makes me insanely happy.
So this is an SHL guy that Myrtle Beach was aware of, and they're really excited to pair him up with Duke Marriott, who got sent down for another season, and kind of solidify their secondary. So Grum was in our locker room for a while in London, and just a really fun guy to have around. So really nice pickup for them here.
Very good. All right, we'll move on to 20.
Oh gosh, I think I actually have to do my job again, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough world. So, with the 20th overall pick, can you advance the slide, JPEG? Yeah, with the 20th overall pick, we took X-Tree. I'm gonna butcher that name, so I'm not even gonna try. We really like X-Tree. We have a habit of losing our wide receivers to the NSFL when we least expect them to. We lost Mike Lee this offseason, so we knew we were gonna have to replace him. This is another guy that we had as one of the top prospects in the class. He's active in PBE, and we know him from over there. He's been super active in our locker room. He developed a good relationship with Kyle, and so we just knew we had to bring him home.
Makes sense. Alrighty, that'll bring us to 21 for the Norfolk Seawolves. They will select Captain Rogers. Yeah, the fact that Tayon was available for us to get felt a little bit weird. I obviously love Tayon. He was one of my first, the first people I kind of pushed when I was in head office to like bring aboard to their head office team. He's a rookie mentor. He is phenomenal. Even if he is from Iowa, we can forgive that just enough to let him in the doors for us. But no, he's amazing. He's such a sweet guy, and we're excited to be bringing him on to the Seawolves. That'll move us on to pick 22 for the Minnesota Grey Ducks. They will select Azarius Ranger.
So this, I know we all get one seal card. This is going to be the pick in this draft that upsets me the most. That Mobius is somebody I really wanted to bring into London. He's been in our locker room and has just been incredible. And of course, he goes one pick before us. Yeah, I know for a fact that Minnesota loves this guy, loves his locker room presence, newer user, just a great fit. And he's going to be great over there. He's I believe, the only prospect I made 2 separate calls on to try to bring in because he's just fantastic.
Very good. Okay. And 23.
Ah, that's also me. So with the 23rd pick, the London Royals will select Harrison Andrews, tight end, user ABH89. As much as I just talked up Mobius Grinder, there was literally one name on our board for this pick, and it was ABH. He's easily the most active prospect in our locker room and has just been an incredible guy to have in there. We're excited to bring him to the team, and even though he's a tight end right now, I think we're going to move him to the defensive side, and he's just going to be another monster for us. He's great.
All
Very
right.
good.
With pick 24, the Tijuana Luchadors select Crowbar Theeks, user BWIII, or BW the Third, or whatever you want to call him.
B-dubs, yeah.
B-dubs, in fact. What a guy.
I mean, you can call him whatever. Yeah, stellar dude, been around the league forever, it seems. And by forever, I mean, he's been here at least longer than I have, so. No, he's super good. He is, he's the head of the fantasy division of the league, if I'm remembering correctly. Probably should know that as commissioner, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Cool. Pick 25.
Okay. With the 25th pick, the Coyotes select Labong Simwell. I've been waiting to say that name. DT, with a username of Birdman. So we figured out that he was a GM in the SMJHL over in SHL, and if he's anything like the other person who we just had in our locker room who's like that, then we'll be just fine with this pick. His name is fantastic. He's a DT, and we all need DTs. So yeah, easy pick.
Very good. Alrighty. Move on to 26 for the Pythons. They will select Sam Howitzer, user Troutner. Troutner is another longtime user of the site. I believe formerly of the Yellowknife Wraiths. No one tells me I'm wrong, therefore I must be correct. Any
We're
thoughts
all
on?
new. I don't know what you think we know.
I mean, did you not talk to these people? Come on.
Wait, we were
S-
supposed to talk to these people? What?
Yeah.
yeah,
What, Bex?
I just used the marbles. I thought that was
We
the
use
meta.
random.org.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
On a serious note, Portland this was the guy they wanted for the QB1 of the future. Trotner is obviously a great user, and they just kind of made a statement pick here, first quarterback off the board. They went out and got their guy. So um, great pick, obviously a great guy and really active in the league.
Very good. All right, let's move on here to pick 27 for the Buccaneers. They will select Lee Out, Wazzy. Wazzy's another longtime user of the site. He is a pillar of our ongoing werewolf games. He's hilarious. He's my teammate in 2 separate leagues. So he is a super fun dude to have around the locker room as well.
He stole a werewolf trophy from me, and I'll never forgive him for it. That's all I have to say.
So 28, it's a happy and sad pick for me. So 28th overall, we took your picks now. This is a sad pick on one hand because we have to replace Cheeseman, Monty, and he's been a pillar of Dallas since we started. On the other hand, we're excited to bring in picks now. He was our top quarterback on the board by far. We knew that Portland needed a quarterback, and we were hoping he slid a little bit past them, and he did with them taking Troutner. And so we were excited to snatch him up. He's somebody we're excited to have in the locker room for the next few years, and just ready to lead the offense.
Very good. Alrighty, this will move us to pick 29 for the Norfolk Seawolves. Everyone's roasting me because I pronounce it the way I do because it's the folk joke, guys. It's the folk joke.
Uh,
Yeah, but at 29 we will select Ricky Vaughn, Super TARDIS. So this is one of my dear friends from PBE. He is one of the captains on our minor league team. I adore him. He is so nice. And when he was creating, I was like, he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna create in the NSFL. And I popped into the war room to be like, hey, if we can get this guy at all, that would be super cool. And like, I usually have one per season where I'm like, this is the one I want. Please try and get them. And I'm so happy that we are able to bring him aboard.
yeah, I gotta be honest. I wish I could get him because I love this guy. He's part of my majors team up there, and he's so nice. So I wish I could get him, but you guys stole him before I could get there. So
Yes, indeed.
Also, fair rubs.
fair rubs. Yeah.
Indeed.
I have
Yeah.
nothing to base pancake stats off of this draft.
Damn
Sad.
it, Steg. The one job you had.
Should have watched the prospect ball. Somebody remind me to do that next year.
Oh, we'll have to. All right. At 30, the Pythons will select oh God,
Fukushu.
Fukushu.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Fukushu.
better than I am. Jiggly, yeah. Jiggly, longtime user of the site, formerly Rosie Jenkins of Chicago and Sarasota? Question mark. I don't remember where Rosie ended up, but yeah,
Yes, Sarasota.
heading off to Portland with this new running back.
Yeah, so for Portland to get I think the top earning TPE user at pick 30 is incredible value. And they're really excited to bring him to the team. And nope, this isn't their steel card. I double checked. But Jiggly was in the London locker room for the end of the season and was a really great addition. We enjoyed having him, and Portland got a good one here.
Very good. Alrighty. 31.
Oh, sorry. With the 31st overall pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select
A
a
trade.
trade. Yep. So
Alright.
basically, we know Mac very well. We know our boy Griddle. He has a perfect render, and he is a former GM of us. So we just felt this was the right moment to get back in. We needed safety help, and this was the guy we wanted. So we asked Portland if they wanted anything for it, and this is what we came up with. I'm glad we can get him back. So welcome back to the locker room, my man.
Very good. Alrighty. Now that it's another Portland pick, they will select Cassius Brown, YTB. Yes, another longtime user. We've got a lot of like veterans in this draft, which is interesting. But yeah, one of the recently inducted Marquise Brown is YTB's former player. So you're getting a Hall of Fame category user. So
Yeah, and this is where Portland's going to be cashing in their steal card. Basically, in back-to-back picks, they picked up the top-earning wide receiver and running back in the draft, and they're really excited to have Young in the locker room. I guess they met him during the Jackbox event and just hit it off. So, nice pickups for them.
Portland is spooky now.
Yeah, just changed our offense in 2 picks.
All right. Well, at pick 32, the Tijuana Luchadors select a trade. Nice. You get picks. Perfect.
Jay.
God's sake.
now that it's a Myrtle Beach pick, they will select Joseph Joestar, user Lime. Another
Okay, wait.
quarterback here.
I have something to say about this. Where? Okay, so I've been told to say suspicious choice, big personality that will take over the locker room when he isn't asleep. But apart from all of that, yeah, I love Lime. He's a teammate of mine in SHL, and I'm very, very upset that we couldn't take him. But he just really wants to be a QB, so we couldn't really swing it. So I hope he enjoys Myrtle Beach. I think it will make sense for them.
Very good. Okay. Move on here to 33. Maddie, it's still you.
Oh God! Oh, I'm so unprepared. Uh, with the next pick, the 33rd overall pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select Sergio Kitchens, running back, name wannabe Finn. Now this is my steal card. I just have to be honest here. Like, we were surprised when we still had him here. I don't know how he didn't get picked before number 33. I don't know how he was still here for us. Like, he's a Browns fan. How can anyone hate that? But
Easily.
shut up, Sil. But yeah, like this just made sense for us overall. We don't have a running back. We needed a running back, and he's brilliant. So get him in.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to 34 for the Pythons. They will select a trade. Portland is receiving pick 44 and pick 52 for this draft, and then Dallas is receiving the pick.
And with the 34th overall pick, Dallas selects a trade.
Jesus. Okay.
We turned round 6 and round 7 in this draft into a pick 4 picks lower than this one from Minnesota, pick 38, and their 5th round next year. I think that's a profit for us. We're out here wheeling and dealing.
Fair. Okay, well, now that it's a Grey Duck pick, now that this pick has changed hands so many times, let's see who they're taking. Rashad Hilliard. Got dat Weefy. Beautiful names. Excellent. This is someone who I've seen the name of, but I don't know that I've seen much from them. Do you guys have thoughts on this pick?
That's a great name.
I know this is somebody that we were considering in London. We have a cluster of picks coming up here. I believe he was willing to position change. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, no, somebody that interviewed very well with us.
Very good. Well, excited to see what he accomplishes on Minnesota then. That'll move us on to
Awesome.
35.
So pick 35, the Tijuana Luchadors select Icebach Riposte, Mav Father. I've been told that we picked this guy because he's a fine piece of ass, also fair rubs, and our O-line Kevin Malone retired.
We're gonna get a YouTube like PG-13 strike for the phrase "fine piece of ass" followed by fair rubs.
Mav is a big name in sim leagues. He is a former GM in PBE. He's former head office of the NSFL. Very solid dude. So good pickup here for Tijuana. I'll move us to 36.
Yeah, London. So with the 36th pick, London selects Bob Smith, defensive end, user Cristobal. This is a guy that we really liked when we sat down and talked with him. Was willing to move around on the defensive line and just give us a lot of flexibility. As I mentioned earlier, defensive line was a big concern for us going into the draft, and we definitely tried to address it here. So, love that this guy was still available after most of the defense got snapped up early.
Very good. All right, that'll move us to pick 37 for the Seawolves. They will select Ragnar Crashwagon, user Cement Hands. This is someone who really stood out to one of our GMs. They talked exclusively on the forums, which can be kind of a difficult thing to navigate, but still made a great impression on us. And yeah, we're excited to see what they can do for us as a tight end.
Oh, it's me. The 38th overall pick. The Dallas Bird Dogs select username Walter Frey, another name that I will not pronounce because Kyle is trying to trap me into saying some of these names.
Sasha Medved.
Thank you. My tongue will not do that.
Oh, I was like, what? There's nothing wrong or dirty or bad about this name. What's
Yeah,
going
no,
on?
like I just the Medved is gonna come out not sounding good.
Okay.
He's a player Kyle knows from some sim leagues, and so funny user, good interview with Kyle. Defensive end is one of those positions in the draft that we knew we needed to address after we lost to midships to the NSFL. Thanks Baltimore for that. And so one of the last remaining ones on the board, and one of the ones we had at the top of our board, we're ecstatic to bring him here and bring some good humor to the locker room and a good earner.
Very solid. Alrighty. We'll move on then to 39.
Oh, that's me, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
With the 39th pick, the London Royals select Tredarius Javathon, wide receiver, user Vander Jones. We were really excited that Vander made it to us. We were a little nervous because we went Cristobal earlier that he wouldn't. We desperately needed help at wide receiver, having lost Nick Capper-Collin. And so to be able to grab, I think, the second highest earning wide receiver in the class in round 5 was just incredible value for us. So really excited to see what he can do with Colby Jack this year.
Very good. Okay.
All right. At pick 40, the Tijuana Luchadors select Petra Sabor, user Sabor the Wave Runner.
Very good. I know that Petra has this is their second player in the league, but another big sim league name. I believe they're also a GM in PBE.
Yeah, she's actually my GM in PBE. Absolutely fantastic. Great pick here from Tijuana. Really big fan of the player, and hopefully they will stay active. I'm hoping the best.
Yes, indeed. Alrighty. 41.
That's also me.
Mm-hmm.
So with the 41st pick of the draft, I don't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
The London Royals select Frank Michel, offensive line, user Deadly Player.
Shocking pick.
Yeah, so I I was trying to play this fun game with how long can we wait to take Deadly, but we all just agreed that we were getting way too nervous that somebody was going to snap him up. We obviously love Deadly. He's one of the founders of London. Just an incredible guy to bring back to the locker room. I love him. Just a mentor and a wonderful person. So glad to bring him back. And a fair rubs, though he's willing to swap. We'll see where he ends up.
Very good. Yet another former season 18er. I have to point out that there are so many of us in this draft. Perfect. That'll move us on to pick 42 for the Pythons. They'll be selecting John Price, user Blue. Such a simple username. I love it.
Blue. Yeah, they've had him in the locker room for a little while now and are really excited. Good fit for them. And so they were glad to bring him in.
Very good.
Awesome. At pick 43, the Tijuana Luchadors select a trade. Cool. We get Broken Bot 2 draft final. London gets Myrtle Beach's pick 43. Awesome.
Hey, it's me again. So Broken Bot was somebody we had drafted last season. He had expressed a desire to not be in London and to head back to Tijuana, of which he's one of the founders. And so, huge thank you to Tijuana for working with us to make that happen. And they get a defensive tackle that'll help shore up their line. And with that, we get the 43rd pick. With the 43rd pick, London will select Charlemagne Cortez, quarterback, user Mr. Stennett. Obviously, a couple of quarterbacks have gone off the board at this point. We were kind of nervously waiting because we know we only have one season left with Colby. And to get Stennett, who is considered league-wide as just a wonderful individual, great locker room guy, this was the guy we wanted. And so the trade made all the sense in the world to go and get him at this point.
Very nice. Okay. Let's move us on to 44 for the Pythons. They will select Chad the Rig Simpson, user JPox. JPox is another big Sim League name. I believe SHL is his primary league. I might be misremembering because there are so many multi-leaguers to keep track of now. But I want to say yet another former Season 18er as well. Because we are Legion. Any thoughts on this one?
The rig. That's all.
Yeah, I wanted him a couple of picks later. It was very sad when he went off the board.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So move us on to 45 for the Seawolves. They will select Thad Pennington Jr., user Blast Me Away. Another Sim League vet from SHL and PBE. Super great dude. And, always good to have a human O-line to have on board. Keeping our beautiful quarterbacks protected. So, going to be another excellent person to bring into our locker room. And we'll go back to Portland here with pick 46. They will be selecting Alpha Centauri. Infinite has a joke that I'm supposed to read for this.
No.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh no.
Ahem.
What a render while we're
I'm
waiting.
supposed to mention that Alpha Centauri is a triple star system, and the star we typically call Alpha Centauri is actually 2 stars, Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B. So you're getting double the star power with this pick here.
Oh wow, that was great. Risky, horrible. God, I forgot how to laugh at that point. Jeez, that's
Yep.
rad.
Yes, indeed. Alrighty, that's our joke for our Astro nerd in the league. So.
Pick 47 is us. Let me pull that up. There we go. With the 47th pick, London selects Gunnar Thorbjornsson, wide receiver, user ZWiz. I mentioned earlier, wide receiver was a position of need for us. We only had one on the roster. ZWiz is one of the top wide receivers in the class, and so we look to pair him up with Tredarius Jabathan and Sue Cash to bring back the passing game this season.
Excellent stuff. Okay.
At pick 48, the Tijuana Luchadors select Mike Boss Jr., quarterback, Jay Blaze the Boss.
Hey, Sil, how do you feel about this render?
It's the best render we've had all night. To be honest, it's just a great look. I don't know why more people don't do something along this line.
Yeah.
Maybe take that into account.
Wrong uniform, though.
No.
Alrighty. Move on to pick 49.
Okay, so with the 49th pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select Delta Airlines. Man, we love this pick.
What the render?
So I think the render is technically different now. I think it's supposed to be John Mulaney because it's a John Mulaney joke, obviously. But yeah, we were glad to get him still on the board somehow here at pick 49. We thought he could go a whole lot higher. He's been around our locker room already. He seems like a pretty chill guy to be around, and we're excited to have him in here. And with a new render as well, so great.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to pick 50 For the Portland Pythons, they will select Sebastian Lowe.
You're not going to read the username?
I'm sure not.
Okay, well, this is Big Dong Funky Kong, and from Portland, 40% of this pick was a team need for another defensive lineman. 50% was the absolute S tier username, and the other 10% was he'd been in the Discord and had some positive interactions, so they're excited to bring him in.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to 51 for the Buccaneers. They will select Nemo, username Sushi, which is a hilarious combination. I know this is someone we were looking at potentially picking up at some point. Made a different choice, but excited to see them off to Myrtle Beach here.
Yeah, we had him in the London locker room. He was a great guy, really fun guy to have in there, and we were sad he didn't make it a couple more picks to us. So, congratulations to him.
Very good. Alrighty, 52 for the Pythons yet again. They will select Ruhu Rush, user Ruhu. So many thoughts on this one.
According to Portland, they actually considered him back in the third round.
Wow.
Somebody that he's done literally every task available to him as a new rookie, and is pretty active on the site. So they were very happy to get him here.
Very good. Alrighty. This will move us to 53 for the Seawolves. They will select Logan Hex, Applebee's manager. At this point in the draft, we were basically looking for who was still active and who's going to be a good fit for positions we could fit in. And yeah, Applebee's manager had updated literally like the day before, which is, a super great sign. And we're excited to have this potentially work out to be our big steal this draft.
This is a good pick for y'all. His brother is a Dallas player, and it got drafted by Honolulu in season 22. It is still active, so I'm sure Hex will keep him around.
Excellent stuff. Alrighty, we'll move on then to 54 for the Grey Ducks. They will be selecting Oliver Sloan, user Netlantic.
Okay, yeah, I'll speak then. So we were hoping that Netlandic would fall to us. I've known him from a couple of different places now, around the different leagues, and yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He was interested in positioning switching, so I don't know if they will do that with him. But that's definitely what we thought about asking him at some point. But yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, and I think he'll do pretty well in this league.
Very good. Alrighty.
With the 55th pick, London Royals select Jay Mikowski, defensive end. So for us, this is kind of like the cherry on top of everything we've been building this draft. We really wanted a strong defensive line, and Jay slots right in as our final pick of the draft to sort of fill that out. So really excited to pair him up with the rest of the guys and sack quarterbacks more than a few times.
Very good.
Nice. Pick 56. The Tijuana Luchadors select Greg Young, tight end, 100 stars. I don't know much, but I know that Tijuana needs a tight end, so that's probably why we picked this guy up.
Well, in Tijuana, in last year's GM Star competition was, a little bit light on the stars, so it's good to see them picking up 100 of them this time. Thank you for letting me make my terrible joke. We'll move on to pick 57.
And after that terrible joke, with the 57th overall pick, the Kansas City Coyotes select Nacho Davis, Terrell. So yeah, our team is pretty well rounded by this point. We were just looking for whatever we could get in terms of a position that might have needed some more depth, and tight end was that. So we took Nacho Davis because he just looked good to us at that point. Nothing much else to say. Seems like he's going to be pretty good for us, I hope. So bring it on.
Excellent stuff. Alrighty. So moves to 58 for Portland. They will select Jason Pollinger, Ratty Ball 21.
Yeah, so this guy is active on the site. I think he fell this far just because he's a QB, but I had at least one discussion with him, so he is still playing, and I know Portland's really excited to find an active user at this point. So we'll see what he ends up doing.
Very good. Okay. Also move us on to. Oh, I'm not looking at the screen share anymore. I'm like, where did the slides go? Yeah, 59 for Myrtle Beach. They will select. Wyatt Fulton Jr., user Incite Hysteria.
So unless I'm incorrect, I believe this is the only corner in this draft. I think he's since gone IA, but they're hoping to bring him back and get him into the starting lineup.
Here is hoping. All right, so bring us to 60.
Oh, the 60th overall pick, the Dallas Bird Dogs select Gary Winthorpe. Somebody that we were looking at the end of the draft, and we were trying to find who was going to be active and who wasn't. We talked to Winthorpe a day or two before we picked him. He's since responded to us again. He's active. He's ready to earn. We've already had a couple guys who've been talking to him about how to update, just because it's the right thing to do with new players. And we're excited to bring him to Dallas for the long run.
Very good. Okay, this will move us to 61 for the Seawolves. They will select a very important trade. This is the wrong trade slide.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh no! Well, okay, so
That's right. We traded him again.
So nice. You traded twice. Let me pull up the draft. I will find the actual trade here. Live draft trades. DSFL. Norfolk is receiving Tricky Fellow 1, aka Jim Neyman Jr., and Myrtle Beach is receiving this pick. Tricky is someone that our former GM Scorp desperately wanted to draft last year. Has been kind of lower on the activity side, and we're hoping that potentially a change of scenery can help get them back and get them engaged. So I know that Scorp is very excited. You can see him in the YouTube chat, and I'm sure that he's freaking out in the locker room as well. He's very, very excited about bringing Tricky aboard. So now that it's Myrtle Beach's pick, let's see who they select. Michael Sarah, Josh McNabb.
So Myrtle Beach was, at this point, there were only two players left. Obviously, they needed defense more than offense, so they went with Sarah, hoping to get him active again. This guy is from the Ohio State University, so just an all-around great guy as far as I can tell.
Alrighty, I'm going to move us on to 62 for the Grey Ducks. They will select Timothy Martins III, user RJeff. Cool. At this point, I'm just picking up who was left, I think, because we're getting close to the end of the draft, right? There's only...
that's the last pick.
Oh, hey, never mind. You're literally taking whoever is left. I obviously am super aware of how many people are in this draft all the time, forever. So yeah, that's the last pick of the draft. We do have some other players to kind of give a shout out here. Our beautiful waivers players. So people who created after the draft had already started, so weren't eligible for the draft itself. Go through our waivers, and I'm excited to announce what teams they'll be off to as well. So we have James Pazos, user Snoozu, is heading off to Kansas City to be a Coyote.
My boy.
Yeah. Daria Guava Fresca, user Schwarznar, is headed off to Norfolk with us, which is very exciting. And then Thomas the Tank Engine, Dino Bambino, is headed off to Portland to be a Python. We also have our final waivers players to waiver to. Oh goodness. Long draft stream. I've only stumbled a couple times. Our final waivers player here is Zach Mouse, user Hasio, is headed off to Myrtle Beach. So congratulations to those players as well as our draftees. Any big takeaways from this draft, guys?
Dallas won the draft.
No bias there, I'm sure.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I won the draft. Come on.
Your
I
accent
think-
won the draft, man.
Thank
I
you.
think Dallas
Thank you.
may have made history twice by taking a kicker punter with their first two picks and trading a pick and then trading it. I don't know if that's happened before.
All I'm saying is neither of those kicker or punters are kicker or punters anymore. One's a running back and one's a safety. The deed's already done. Kicker
Stag,
lives don't matter.
Oh no,
I
stop!
Oh
I'm
no.
rude.
I'm I'm
This got
I'm so
dark.
hurt. Okay, right. Well, shut the stream off. I'm about to murder a man. Come on. Let's-
Huh.
Maddie, you know I love you.
We're still live.
Oh,
Yes. All right.
Oh,
Right.
well.
Perfect. Everyone's going to be quiet while I say my end piece now. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to get to present this draft for you. Hopefully, you guys are all excited to hop into the season strong. Tomorrow is preseason for the NSFL, and then DSFL preseason will take place on Tuesday. So you'll get your first look at what the teams are going to look like in action at that point in time. In the meantime, as you kind of get situated, you'll probably have your GMs reach out to you. If for some reason if you don't have someone reach out to you, feel free to reach out to me and I'll help get you directed to the right place. You'll see your player pages moved and just getting you situated for your new life in your DSFL team. Thank you all so much for joining us. And with that, we're going to wish you a good night or afternoon or morning or whatever time of day it is for you.
Bye.
Farewell.